Joining me now is Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. Congressman, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I've got to ask you.
Thank you so much, Tammy.
Yeah, my pleasure. Look, obviously horrible circumstances. The fact that we're still discussing this when normally tragedies bring Americans, everyone together. Of course, we have a history of doing that. That's who we are as a people. But here now you've got this narrative that is obscene in general. It is certainly insulting to the victims and their families. Why do you think this is going on?
Right now, we have a left that is unwilling in America to confront the real challenges that we have, whether it's the collapse of fatherhood in our country. You look at these mass shooters, very rarely did you see a positive, productive relationship with a father figure. You also see dark recesses of the internet harboring and fuming this type of hate. And rather than deal with those things, it's just easier for the political left to scapegoat the president, to defame, to demoralize, to delegitimize those who are actually trying to come up with solutions. I think you've seen a president eager to comfort those in pain and also open-minded about what solutions anyone would have that would reduce the frequency of this violence. But if we've seen anything from the shooting at the Republican baseball practice to the Elizabeth Warren Antifa supporter in Dayton to the person that claimed to have a very right-wing hateful ideology in El Paso, the extreme elements of violence do not have monogamy with any one political agenda. And I'm grateful we have a president who's willing to call out hate and who's trying to pave the way to really a more accepting country.
Well, Matt, and I have to say that even you see that with the pictures, the photographs of the president visiting the hospital and the first responders, et cetera, they're thrilled to see him. They're thrilled to see the First Lady. It's because they have been consistent. Of all the people, and when we're dealing with tragedies like this and the dynamics that we're facing, the president's approach has been about safety for everyone, including the migrants, right? Of course, the American people. When you're doing things for the right reasons, it benefits everyone. And yet now we have this kind of, certainly it's a hatred. But you're there, we had an attempted assassination of 23 Republicans not so long ago, seriously, almost fatally injuring Steve Scalise. We're in this heightened time, and it seems like there's an alternate reality. Most Americans, and I think you would agree, don't believe what it is they're hearing in this rhetoric. Do you think it is dangerous, though, or do you think it's impacting the way Americans are viewing the reality that surrounds all of us?
I think the American people know that in times of political activity, people can capitalize on these moments of tragedy for their own gain. It's awful to see that, but obviously we've seen it unfold with the way that the mainstream media and some Democratic presidential candidates have responded. I've got to say it's Marianne Williamson who actually came forward and said there's no direct connection between the president and these acts of violence. And I mean, she believes there's a direct connection between how the moon and stars align in our mood. So even she couldn't find a direct connection, but certainly the president, I think his hospitality background contributes to his desire to bring warmth to people. He always likes people to be sort of comfortable and welcomed in his presence.
Congressman, I think that during the campaign, he fell in love with the country. I think he got to know us, and he sees the damage that's been done. Now, I'd like to get your response, by the way, to the breaking news tonight that former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is now suing the FBI and the Justice Department over his firing. Of course, we know Peter Strzok is suing. Now McCabe is suing. He says they got rid of him because he wouldn't pledge allegiance to Trump. Is this just that my guess is that he just wants to be on television for some interviews. What's your take on this? You've been in Congress sitting through all of this. Why do you think he's doing this?
It is ludicrous. It wasn't Donald Trump or the White House that accused Andrew McCabe of lying. It was the FBI's own Inspector General, a Democrat appointed by President Obama, who said that McCabe lied 3 times under oath about his activity, and it was an activity that was geared toward using the FBI to shape public opinion through leaks. Through the great work of Bill Barr and Senator Lindsey Graham, we're going to make sure that the FBI and the intelligence community aren't used to shape public opinion, but return to their mission of investigating the facts and then doing so in a dispassionate way.
Congressman, I think it's pretty obvious that those 2 men like the attention they used to get. They want more attention, and they're looking to get that attention any way they possibly can. Congressman, Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's wild times. I appreciate your perspective.